Welcome to Becoming Saiyans.
A Dragon Ball rewatch podcast.
And we're back. I'm Truman.
And I'm Jesse.
And this is Becoming Saiyans, a Dragon Ball rewatch podcast. On today's episode, we watched episodes 60 and 61, titled Tao Attacks and Korin Tower. And these both aired in Japan. The first episode aired on April 29th, 87. And then the next episode aired on May 6th of 1987. And then for America, the first episode aired on October 30th, 2002. And the next episode aired on November 4th, 2002. So we had a little bit of a break there between these episodes. What a crazy way to leave like a cliffhanger between these episodes, you know?
Yeah, it was insane.
Some differences from the manga. The fight between Mercenary Tao and Goku is extended in the anime for time, just to give more hand-to-hand combat. Mercenary Tao being taunted once he's in the town is not in the manga. Commander Red sending a soldier to get the ball, and his death at Goku's hands aren't in the manga. Since Red, in the manga, Red assumes Goku's dead, he won't have to worry about claiming the ball fast, so he just kind of doesn't go to deal with it. Red calls Mercenary Tao in his suite and tells him to check back at Korin Tower, but he refuses. That's all, anime exclusive. Some trivia for the first episode is the designs of the two drunkards are based off of the two bullies from Orin Temple. These guys just keep coming back just to get their butts kicked.
Yeah, I kind of made that correlation a little bit.
Yeah. The shot of Goku firing the Kamehameha is recycled clearly from the tournament saga. The outline of the tiles of the tournament ring can be seen on the ground, apparently. After Mercenary Tao's clothing is burnt, a piece of his sleeve disappears and reappears throughout the scene, which I think is kind of like a funny idea. In the next episode, the differences from the manga is that when Goku opens one of the pots in the manga, he doesn't experience any visions. He just goes right up to the top of the tower. It wasn't raining in the manga when Korin tells Goku about Master Roshi. Fighting for 3 years. Subsequently, the scene where Roshi powers up is not in the manga. Tao being targeted by the sniper isn't in the manga. Tao staying in the hotel and having a bath isn't in the manga. When Tao's boiling his egg in the Japanese version, 12 minutes pass before he eats it. The English version changes the time to 5 minutes. So it goes from like a burnt hard-boiled egg, like a roasted egg, to like a soft-boiled egg. Anyways, Jesse, that's all the trivia and the differences we had. These were kind of not filled with a bunch of like changes or stuff.
And it seems like the changes were mostly just to give more background,
or just give a little bit extra time to let stuff breathe.
I think more.
But before we get into
more background for time.
Yeah, but before we get into all of it and our thoughts and opinions, previously on Dragon Ball. The epic fight of the generation has started. Tao versus Goku. And it's over before it starts because Goku's strongest move doesn't even leave a scratch on Tao. And Tao uses a Dodon Ray to basically kill Goku if it wasn't for the Dragon Ball. With that, Tao decides to retreat and get some new clothes because Goku burned his. And, just kind of hangs out in the city because he's going to have to wait 3 days to get his robes back. Unbeknownst to him, Goku is alive. Red and his men find that out the hard way by Goku killing one of Red's men. And then Red gets on the phone and says, go fix this. And he says, I'll do it when I want to. You're not going to make me do it because I'm waiting on my clothes. So then we get to spend some time watching Tao kind of piddle around town, survive a sniper rifle assassination attempt in the coolest way possible, eat a hard-boiled egg in the bathtub, which was a very strange choice by him. All while that is going on, we have Goku climbing the tower, making it to the top of the tower, running into the most cat of all cats, and getting to find out from firsthand about cat-like behavior as he tries to get the sacred water to make himself strong. All along the way, he also finds out that his master, Master Roshi, was the one who was able to do it, the only other person to climb the tower, and the only person to ever get the water. And in doing so, it took him 3 years. So Goku is now stuck here for at least 3 years, it seems. And that's what you missed on Dragon Ball. Jesse, it is your turn.
Yeah, I do think that these episodes are really good. I really had a fun time watching them. I do have to say, even though there was anime exclusive stuff in it, I think the way I took it was more just padding out the time of like what these characters are doing, kind of world building these characters a little bit more.
Yeah, and it could be considered filler, and I'm not gonna try to like argue that. If you think of it negatively as filler, you're right. Like it is filler.
I mean, by all definitions, it like as much as we have complained about filler about it, I would normally complain about this, but it's again, as we've established, this is how to do filler well to a point where it's just like, yes, by definition, it is filler.
There were moments.
I enjoy it.
As much as I love these episodes, and I love this little bit of the area that we're in at the moment, like the point where it was like, oh yeah, we're making the good stuff. There was moments in these episodes where it was like, pan to go. I think at one point I pointed it out, like it was like Goku's thought process. Like it took that long for his brain
For like
to work.
30 seconds for his brain, his gears to start turning.
And it like, you know, you're staring at Goku's face, and then it zooms in on his face. Then it zooms on his face from another angle. Then it zooms in on his eye. Then it zooms in on his eye from a different angle. Then the Dragon Ball appears in the eye. Then the Dragon Ball gets big in the eye. And then finally he's like, wait a minute. You know?
I could wish your dad back to life.
Yeah, that's a lot of that.
But no, for me, a good chunk of it is more just like building out what these characters are, and like, especially for Tao. A lot of the Tao stuff is like, oh, people know who he is.
Yeah.
People are afraid of him.
He is a mercenary that
He's
people...
also got insane aura, as we have established.
He is a mercenary that people like are gunning for, because I mean, if you're the one to kill the one, you know, like that makes you the new one.
Yeah.
So, a lot of fun stuff in these episodes, and it is definitely filler, but it's not what either one of us would probably consider bad. There was that moment, which is probably going to be my worst part, but
Goku thinking.
Yeah, the Goku thinking.
I mean, there's a spoiler alert. There's not a whole lot in these episodes that are bad.
Yeah. I also don't feel like... I think my biggest issue with these episodes is it also doesn't feel like there's a lot in these episodes that are, like, blowing me away artistically, you know? It's just like, we got to get from point A to point B, and this is part of the road there.
I mean, yeah, these aren't the best episodes of all time.
Yeah.
But there's not a whole... I get my words together. The floor is really high, and the ceiling isn't very high.
Yeah.
You have a nice one-story house, slightly on a hill, so the floor is further off of sea level, and the ceiling's a little bit higher than a normal house would be.
Yeah.
But it's still not going to... It's, you know, these might max out at like a 7.5.
Yeah, these are like the definition of mid and not in a bad way. Like in like what mid is supposed to be.
These are high mid.
Yeah, these are like middle of the road as mid, not like mid, which means
like,
bad.
Like in the tiers for me when it comes to like rating out of 10, I would say like abysmal, like abysmally horrible, 1 to 2, like anywhere from 0 to 2. Yeah. Like bad is, you know, about 2, anywhere from 2 to 4.
Yeah.
Bad, like, has some flaws, but you have fun is like 4 to 6.
Yeah.
And then, you know, good is like good mid, like up to good mid is like mid to good is 6 to about 7.5. Anything above that is just like, this is a good to amazing to great.
Yeah. Sorry about that water. I didn't want to cut Jesse off on that, but that noise of the plastic ruffling was a cat getting in the water containers. So we cut right there for a second so I could move the water container away, so maybe we can keep the noise down a little bit. But yeah, as far as your grading set, this is probably like right in that middle of the road, like 5 to 6 range. Like nothing in this is bad, but it's also not. There's not a whole lot in here that's like this is up in there in the top tier.
I guess thinking of my rating that big, like kind of putting it in my own brain a little bit clearer,
and thinking
probably
of
like 6.5.
Yeah, thinking about Bora like dying, you know.
That was such an insane end.
Yeah,
to like
and then
the last episode.
That's like a peak for this show, you know. Like it's one of those like high value moments. And then to have these episodes that aren't bad by any stretch of the imagination, I would never go to say these are bad episodes. But there's nothing like a Bora death in these episodes. Because even like the moment where Goku gets shot, you're like, yeah, he's going to be fine. Like it's Goku. Like he's not dead. You hear him make noise immediately after it happens. He's not dead. Yeah. So that moment that's supposed to have the shock value of Tao just killed Goku just doesn't land. Even if you don't know what's going to happen next. Like, Jesse, you didn't really know what was going to happen next, but there's no way Goku just died there.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, for as little as I know about this world, I do know one thing. We have a whole lot more Goku left to go. Yeah. I also do know that Goku does come back from death, but not for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
At least in my brain, not for a very long time. But Goku, even when you kill Goku, he always comes back. He's like he's like William Afton.
Yeah.
I always come back.
Yeah. And so, like, I guess that's our general thoughts on these episodes. But getting into some more, like, detail-oriented stuff. The beginning fight with Tao is pretty cool. Like, he does some unique things. He shows, like, how powerful he is at this moment. Because he is able to, for all intents and purposes, get as close to killing Goku as anybody has so far.
Yeah.
Because he, like, I mean, if the Dragon Ball wasn't there, that goes straight through his heart, you know?
Yeah, in all seriousness, his grandpa in Goku's eyes saved him.
Yeah. In
this moment, and I do appreciate the extension that they put into the fight, where it's like it extends it in a way that doesn't do Tao injustice.
Yeah, because he's kind of yawning through it because he's like, I'm so much higher. Like, I outclass this guy so insane.
I view it more as like they've kind of set it up that Tao is very full of himself. Yeah. But he's one of the first characters we've met that's full of himself that can back it up. It's like like thinking of like a character like a Brian Dawkins or Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah.
Where it's like they talk crap and then they go out there and they're the best player on the field.
Yeah.
It's like he's that he's not, somebody's going out and talk crap and then the wide receiver's gonna torch him for 10 catches, 150 yards, 3 touchdowns. Yeah. It's like, no, he's gonna go out there and then he's gonna lock him down.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who's in front of him.
I also think another thing about him is that like he's like one of the first characters to attack Goku and like not take it easy on him to start.
Yeah.
Like, he comes out and Goku goes all out and he's not like, whatever, oh no, I got hit, time to lock in. It's like, no, you're not gonna land a punch on me. I'm not going to allow it.
And that comes with like his personality.
Yeah.
But he also does have that personality of like kind of like in the last couple episodes sort of playing with his food in a way of like he kind of wants to see what you've got, and then he's just going to beat you anyways. Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna entertain you a tiny bit, and that's kind of what the beginning fight feels like when it's knowing it's extended anime. It's like it extends it to more showcase that part of his personality.
Yeah, because even in that was like the not the first hit, but was it the second hit, the headbutt? Yeah. Where he gets like knocked, he like throws him into the tower, and Goku gets back up, and he's like, well, I guess this guy can take more beating than I thought he could. And then, like, that's when he
literally's just like, at least you can take a beating.
Yeah. And then that's when Goku Kamehamehas him. And then he's like, okay, that's enough.
Okay, I've enough.
This was fun, but I'm done with it.
It's like, in that moment, he's like, that's the best you got.
Yeah.
Already, he's like, that's the best you get. And then
he's like, that's not bad, but
like laser beam shoots him right to the Dragon Ball.
Ray. Yeah. I love when my Pokemon say their Pokemon moves when they use Pokemon moves, I'm going to point it out a lot of times when it happens. The fact that when you do the Kamehameha, you have to say Kamehameha to make it work. It's like part of the incantation of the secret magic of this universe. You have to say the magic words of
It's that classic anime trope of like, I'm about to do a special move. I must tell you what my special move is.
Here's my special move. At one point,
Detroit Smash.
I mean, I've seen animes where, there's one that's like, he goes, special beam cannon, and it's like, that's the best you could come up with for your move name is special beam cannon.
Consecutive normal punches.
Yeah. Here we go. Punch, punch, kick. Or it's like Goku in the tournament where he goes with the rock, paper, scissors move.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know necessarily. I'm not going to claim that Dragon Ball started that whole trope because I'm sure it's existed for as long as.
I mean, the fact that Toriyama made a rock paper scissors joke in the tournament arc leads me to believe that this is already a trope that people were kind of annoyed with. Because why else would he make a joke like that?
Or most people are annoyed with, but he's like, I thought it was really funny.
I like the idea. Come on, you can judge me. As much
it also does like it's in a weird way. It helps sell merchandise sometimes.
Yeah,
or like it's like name brand recognition.
Yeah, because you know what the name of the move is.
But that's the justification for it in like the My Hero universe.
And also like for Pokemon, like that's the reason why Pokemon say their names in the anime, so that you never like for like the kids, like my daughters and I have been watching Pokemon, like the Sun and Moon one on Disney Plus.
Now you know what that Pokemon is.
And it's like, yeah, they're like, what's that Pokemon? Like when they do the who's that Pokemon at the middle of the episode,
yeah,
they're like, it's Piplup or whatever, because they said Piplup 6 times in the episode, so they're naming name recognition.
They know it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why that exists.
Yeah.
Like, each anime has its reason to have that exist, and a lot of it is like for the name recognition.
Yeah, and I understand that. It's just, you know,
It is just it is funny.
It's funny when you think about
Like
it.
it's funny in a universe where it's unnecessary, like Dragon Ball. Like again, in Pokemon it makes sense. In My Hero, it's in universe justifications. Like, well,
They're
the
trying to
heroes are
sell
based off of
themselves in here.
like popularity, and like you have to sell yourself. So you sell yourself by having special attacks that you can yell out loud. Yeah. In Dragon Ball, it's just like, what are we yelling about?
Yeah, like the moment when Goku goes to do the Kamehameha and he, you know, Tao just stands there like, what? What are you doing? What is this move?
I thought my take and the way I took it when Tao like raises his eyebrow at the very end, is that like he recognized it because a guy of Tao's abilities. Would theoretically know what a Kamehameha wave is. Yeah. So like maybe it took him a second to like for it to hit him, because then like as like he raises his eyebrows, that's when he like starts to defend. Because he raises his eyebrow right as Goku finishes like casting it. Yeah. And then he goes to like get his defense up. So that made me think that like it clicked in his brain what Goku was going for.
Okay. It's like, what
that's
are you?
That's how I
no.
interpreted it. That's that's how it clicked in my brain in that moment. It was like one of those subtle things. Like it's again showing you how skilled and how well versed in this world of fighting that Tao is, that he knows this insanely awesome technique that maybe he can't do, but he knows to recognize it. Yeah,
I like that. But he does make the one fatal error that Tao makes is that thinking he could just kill Goku, because then he's like, well, he's dead. I don't want to check a pulse or anything. I just know
he did the one thing that zombie he broke the number one rule in Zombieland or whatever. You always double tap.
You gotta double tap.
You gotta go for the double tap
from Zombieland. Rule number 8: double tap.
Yeah. You gotta make sure they're dead. Especially as a deadly assassin. Come on, man.
And also, especially with the character that they've told you this guy is, and that he's kind of shown.
And I think that kind of is like we're the only instance we see the super overconfidence of Tao. It's like, yeah, of course I killed the guy.
Yeah, nobody's ever survived my Dodon, right?
Yeah, but Goku just happened to have the Dragon Ball in the perfect spot, which he didn't think he did. But of course, he doesn't know that. Yeah, because he just grabs the amount of Dragon Balls in the bag, which he assumes is the right number until they call him back.
Yeah, and so the fact that the Dragon Balls are like completely indestructible,
which he would not know.
Yeah. And so
all he knows is he's supposed to get them for the Red Ribbon Army.
Yeah. And he doesn't really even know what they're for. I don't think they really would tell him. Like,
they basically we're going to pay you a crap ton of money to get
these
stuff.
Things. Yeah, I don't think they would ever say, and these things can do whatever you want them to do. Because then he'd be like, well, why would I give them to you? Yeah. I'll just keep these for myself.
You guys called me in because you couldn't stop this kid. You definitely can't stop me.
Yeah, I will take that. Thank you. And
so I'm going to take all of yours. I'm going to take all of his.
Blue, so I've got the radar. So I'll just, I'm gone, you know?
Yeah. It's like, no one, everyone has to be ruled by whatever Tao wishes. Yeah. It's like everyone's just screwed if you tell them.
But then jumping forward in the Tao plot, because I think this first episode is pretty much Tao focused. Because we don't really get Goku again until like after the break.
It's at the very end where we learn that Goku's still alive.
Yeah.
And then, like, he declares that he's going to climb the tower.
And he starts to climb the tower, yeah. Yeah. So the rest of this episode is Tao-focused, for the most part. Because Tao goes on a shopping spree because his clothes got messed up in. I think that's more what locked him in. He's like, you destroyed my outfit, and now you die. He's got the basic toddler instinct of Goku where he's like, you broke my thing. Now I kill you. Which is funny to think about because he's like a grown
My name is Mercenary Tao, and you destroyed my robes. Prepare to die.
Yeah. But then he lands in the city, and he runs into the Orin Temple guys, which I did not recognize them as Orin Temple guys. I recognized them as drunks, and I thought they were funny. And they're very funny. The one that was like, this doesn't look like the cast with them. Well, no, it's Mercenary Tao. It's pretty great.
This doesn't look like, I'm going to die now.
Yeah. Let me rearrange your face for you.
They were 3 seconds away from death until he recognized them and, like, groveled at his feet.
Yeah. And And dude is so evil that his aura gives off like vibes that make babies cry. Just like him walking around. In
Everyone
town.
recognizes that it was Tao. The baby starts crying. Everyone starts like, "Oh no, we're gonna die."
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, he's pretty screwed up man.
Yeah, it's a pretty great moment.
Again, great world building for Tao, where it's just like people know him, people fear him.
Yeah,
and people stay out of his way.
And that's the moment where like we also jump back to Red, and like he tells Red, because then he goes into the robe shop, gets the new clothing,
orders the robes, and then like
steals some other outfit,
grabs like a sweater or something, like
just
like a more ornate robe, not a fighting robe.
His civvies.
Yeah.
And he goes and calls Red and says, "I killed the kid. I got the Dragon Balls." And then they're like, "But you only have 3 of the Dragon Balls." And he's like, "What do you mean?" And it was, "Oh man, it must be on his person somewhere. Like, go get it. I don't care.
He's dead. I don't care."
Yeah, do whatever you need to get that one. I'm not wasting my time
and
to fly back.
This is where we do get into the part of it that is kind of padding for time, but also just speeding up the process of discovering Goku's not dead yet.
Yeah,
because it sounds like in the manga, no one realizes Goku isn't dead for longer than they do in the anime.
Yeah, because, Red doesn't send anybody to go get the ball. Goku probably just wakes up of his own volition, like, later on in the chapter or whatever, and goes to climb the tower. In this one, the difference is that Tao, like, at this point, like, by the time the second episode comes around, like, knows something is up there because they couldn't get the ball. And he's like, well, that Upa kid is, like, nothing. So, either this army is completely incompetent and can't beat, like, a child.
Or something weird is up.
Or something strange is up. And so
but
he's
I'm
like...
still going to wait for my rose because, like, what's he going to be... How is he going to get strong enough to beat me in 3 days?
And also, like, I can't aura farm if I don't have my nice robes on. Which is false, because later on in the next episode... while we're waiting for Goku to like get to the top of the tower and run into Korin and stuff, Tao's secondary plot, it becomes the B plot in the next episode. He's just walking around town like, I got 3 days to kill. Let's see what we can do here.
Let's see what happens.
And then an assassin shows up, and Jesse even was like, take the shot. And then immediately he pulls out a sniper and tries to take him. And Tao is a generational aura farmer.
So the man back kicks a slipper.
Yeah, like it's flip-flop.
Yeah, it's like flip-flop slipper. It flips up, deflects the bullet into the dude who hired, and kills the dude who hired the assassin.
Oh, goes through the assassin's turban.
Yeah. Just goes through the assassin's turban. As all that is happening, the slipper perfectly deflects off of the rifle bullet, flips forward in front of Tao, and lands perfectly to where his foot slides into it without having to change the stride of his steps.
And also, like, without him taking a step on the ground.
Yeah, like, it perfectly slides in on the next step of his stride.
Yeah.
And he just keeps going.
Yeah.
And it's just like, this man is generationally... This is, like, the most threatening villain we've had so far, which, of course... We're gonna keep saying in this show. We're gonna keep saying that until the show is over.
Yeah.
Every time you have to raise the stakes, but like this is the first one where like they've raised the stakes and you've actually felt like, I mean, I don't even know if Goku from the Korin Tower can beat this guy.
Yeah.
like that's the thought process they're trying to put you in.
Because before this, we had Pilaf, who was like a zero stakes hero, bad guy. I never once, like when I watched this the first time, I never once was like, oh no, what's gonna happen with Goku? I'm like, these guys are incompetent. They're probably just gonna like fall asleep and their head's gonna hit the like buzzer that opens up the door that lets them out of the glass house. Like before, like I knew about the him breaking, aping out, but like I was like, something stupid like that's gonna happen. These guys suck. And then Silver, I'm like, okay, this guy's like okay. And then White, I'm like, oh, this guy like is big and brooding, maybe he's good. And then Blue, it's like, well, he can make people stop moving. Like that's a pretty good way to stop somebody. And then it's like, no, but this guy, like, legitimately,
this guy doesn't have to rely on any dirty tricks. He's just better.
Yeah.
And it's the first time you can look at him like he's just better.
Yeah, because even like Roshi wasn't better than Goku. He was just smarter. Because like skill wise, they were on par with each other. Roshi just had like 1,000 years on him, you know.
Yeah, Roshi's just so old. He was there when most of the tricks in the book were written.
Yeah,
like it's just
don't speak the dark arts to me. I was there when they were written.
Yeah, literally Aslan from Narnia.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm a big fan of Tao. I enjoy him as a character. He's real fun. I can't wait to see what goes with him, what happens with him later on. But this is where we leave Tao because we're that's basically all we got left.
Yeah,
of
basically
story.
for the next episode,
It's
the only time we check in with Tal is at the very
the
end.
assassin.
Yeah, it's the assassin, and at the very end where he's like aura farming out a window as Goku is like climbing a tower.
Yeah, again,
Or like
farming.
at the top of the tower trying to get the water from Corinth.
Yeah, and so that's where we go to, where Goku gets to the top of the tower.
Like, basically, the end of the episode is Goku wakes up after the helicopter pilot comes to try to steal the ball.
And Upa's
Protects Upa. Upa's like, oh, why don't you, like, climb the tower so you can beat him? Because Goku's like, I'm going to wish your dad back to life.
and he's like, but how are you going to do that? He has your Dragon Balls. He's like, oh, man, he's real tough. I don't know how I'm going to do this. And then Upa's like, dude, we told you, like, yesterday about this giant tower
Climb the
here.
tower.
And
He's like, you're right.
and it's like, well, I'm glad somebody was there to talk him through
And
that.
I
Because
do
we would have
appreciate-
spent another 2 minutes with him sitting there like, how am I going to beat this guy? And then zooming in on his face.
I do
for 8
appreciate,
minutes.
like, the fact of how much Goku watches out for his friends.
Yeah.
Where he's like, yeah, they're probably going to be coming back now that, like, the helicopter pilot's gone,
Yeah.
looking for the Dragon Ball. So why don't you, like, hide off somewhere until I come back down from the tower?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, Goku's just being a good friend.
Yeah,
right there.
Goku's like, they know generally where we were at. They might not have the exact location, but they can get close enough.
Yeah, they're going to come for the Dragon Ball.
Yeah. And so I'm going to climb to the top of this tower with the Dragon Ball, and you're going to go hide somewhere. And until I get back. And so, yeah, the rest of that episode and part of the first episode is him just climbing to the top of the tower. He gets to the top, and that's where we start to have the spirit journey for him, where we get to see, like, the past, which I guess, like, well, I guess it goes present, past, future is what it seems like. 'Cause,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, we went to the middle, which was present, and then he
Yeah.
went right, which was past, and left, which was future, which
Yeah.
makes sense.
yeah, because, like, in the present, we get to see Bulma and Krillin, which you say that they show up in this arc. And Jesse, I have to tell you, your prediction on that one was wrong but right. Because you
Yeah.
thought they were going to be on the quest.
I'm
with
not
him,
going to
but-
lie, I'm not going to count that.
Yeah, I'm not either. But it was just funny that it happened. Because we get to see, like, Bulma and Krillin hanging out at the Kame house, like, washing dishes or just kind of living there generally.
Yeah.
Then we go to the past where we get to see, like, all Goku, like, and everything that just happened, basically, in the last few episodes.
Well, we go to the past and we see Goku meeting up with Chi-Chi
Yeah.
before, like, their marriage.
Yeah.
In, like, probably, 20, 30 episodes
Yeah.
ago? Sorry.
Yeah, and then we jump to the future, and that's where, like, the giant bug monster comes out of the water.
And then there's, like, a couple flashes of future villains, I guess.
Yeah. Well, yeah, maybe. And future characters, foreshadowing. Maybe stuff that happens in the next arc, in the next saga. Who knows? You know? But, yeah, there's some fun stuff that happens there. And then we hear Corin's voice being like, hey, what are you doing down there? Get up here.
Why don't you join the party?
Yeah, and then Goku's like, what's this voice? And he's like, it's me. I'm Korin, the Korin Guardian.
The Watcher of the Tower or something. That's what it says.
Yeah.
Keeper of the Tower. That's
And
what
so
it
he goes up to the top of the tower. He meets the cat. The most cat that's ever catted in cat history. Dude, it's like if a cat like was able to like gain sentience and like talk like a human.
It was also responsible for guarding a secret artifact.
Yeah, because he at one point Goku's like, I want to help my friends, and he says, oh okay, yeah, you can have the water. I think not.
Yeah, no, I don't think that you deserve it.
And he's like, hey, what? And he's like, let me read your... You're talking so much. I don't like this. Let me just read your mind. Oh, okay. Everything that just happened. I got you. Okay. Yeah, you can have the water. And then Goku goes to get the water, and he pulls, like, the Master Shifu with, like, the... You know, the bowl of, like... with, like, the steamed bun or whatever.
Yeah, Steve-On, or like, yeah.
Yeah, and he's... Oh, thought you could... I told you can have it. Just go get it.
And, it's like,
Oh, okay. That happens again.
and now we're in the training arc of like, now you gotta get it. Come on.
Yeah, as soon as you can get past me, you can have it. I'm not going to stop you. You just got to get past me to get it.
It's like, I'm telling you, you can take it.
And so then
It's one of those classic like kung fu master
Yeah.
things.
it also like I feel like this is where like My Hero maybe drew some inspiration with
Well,
Gran
I think-
Torino,
I think
which
a
I mean
lot
I'm
of
sure this
things.
has come around before. Like I'm sure it's not the
I mean, you mentioned the Master Shifu thing.
Master Shifu.
from Kung Fu Panda.
I'm
It's
sure
like,
there's-
that's a direct correlation of this.
Yeah,
of
and-
this trope.
Yeah, this trope of just like
This is not the origin of this trope.
Take-
I can guarantee you that.
yeah,
But-
take the thing. Oh yeah, I said take it. Oh,
And then and then their big reveal is, well, that's the training all along.
Yeah, the
training to take it from me.
Yeah, if once you could take it from me, then you could have it, and then
You're strong enough.
Then you get the dragon scroll, and there's nothing on it.
Because guess what? You already are the dragon warrior. Because you took it from me.
Yeah, it's like that.
It's like that whole thing.
But I thought this
Spoiler alert for my predictions for the next couple episodes.
I thought this water was going to make me strong. Well, getting to it made you strong. So, and climbing the tower made you strong.
This is one of the sad things about knowing this trope so well, is I know what the next couple episodes are going to be like.
Yeah.
Like when he gets it, that's the big reveal. Like, well, you're already strong enough because you already have drunk the sacred water.
Yeah,
because you got it from me.
Because you were able to drink the sacred water, you are now strong enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Jesse, going into your predictions from the last episode, we have they fight for the first episode. They being Goku and Tao. Goku wins at the very end.
Yeah,
false.
Both of those are false.
Yeah, because I wouldn't even say they really fought for the first episode.
They fought for the first 2 minutes.
They fought for like the first half of the episode.
Yeah, they fought for a couple minutes.
Goku starts climbing Korin Tower. That's true.
Yeah,
and it leaves him close to the top. That's not true. So, Jesse, you got 1 out of the 4 predictions.
Yeah, I always say every time we do this, I hope I can get at least 1. If I can avoid 0 for as long as possible. Have I had a 0 yet so far?
I don't believe so. There was I think it was maybe there was maybe one time very early on where it was just 2 episodes that had the most vague titles possible.
Yeah, I think those
and
were the only ones I got 0.
You were like, what does that even mean? I don't even know.
Yeah.
I'll have a frame of reference for what we're going to be talking about.
Well, I think that was the one where it was like the milk run or something. It was like those
yeah,
episodes.
yeah, milk delivery, and you're like, are they going to give birth to a cow? Like, what is going on here?
And then it happens, and then I remember getting to that episode, like the recording the next podcast episode, and I'm like, you know what? I have to admit, I don't know how that didn't cross my mind.
Yeah, it's like, what? How did you not get there?
Why didn't I just take it literally? It seems like most of these episode titles are pretty literal.
Yeah,
they're gonna be delivering milk.
Yeah. Okay, so we going into the next episodes. We have Sacred Water in the Return of Goku. What do you think, Jesse, is going to happen in these 2 episodes?
Well, I mean, let me say, I think Goku is going to get the sacred water.
Goku is going to get the water. Okay,
He's gonna surprise everyone and get the water, and then
getting it fast apparently.
Yeah.
Unless we take 3 years in between this last episode and this episode, but
yeah. Okay, let me think. I mean, obviously for the next episode, Goku's gonna come back and like him and Tao are gonna square off.
Goku comes back to fight Tao.
Because Tao has come back to get the Dragon Ball because he needed to get the Dragon Ball, and Goku's gonna come down and like fight him and win.
Okay, yeah. Goku wins the fight. All right, does that sound like good for you?
Yeah. Now it could be one of those things where it fakes us out, and it takes it until for 3 episodes from now for him to win the fight.
Yeah.
But I'll predict he wins the fight in the episode.
Okay. I like it.
That's my swing prediction, is that it doesn't take more than 1 episode for him to beat Tao.
Okay. I like that. And so, Jesse, with that, we've got your predictions, squared away.
Yeah.
So, quickly, what was your worst part?
I don't know. It's difficult. Because, I know you said you're going to take the Goku zoom in moment.
Yeah.
And I didn't think it was as bad as you thought it was.
I don't think it's the worst, but it's just part of me was like...
It just sticks out.
It just sticks out.
It's a sore thumb.
When it comes, in these episodes that were mostly middle of the pack, it is the one thing that I can point at and be like, that was not good. Yeah. And not in it was awful, but it's just that it was bad, And so that's probably going to be my worst part for this episode. So what about you, Jesse, huh?
My worst part, I have to say. I guess give me... This is tough. I don't want to leave a bunch of empty space of us not talking.
Yeah.
But I'm also stuck in I'm going to have to think about this for a second.
Yeah, I honestly don't know what it is.
I don't know what else it could be really besides the zoom in. But I want to give you that.
Yeah.
I don't want to say the same thing.
I mean, I can't really think of anything else, except for, I guess, cutting back to Red, seeing, the map where they're just oh, why is he going the wrong direction? But, even that, it's not, that big of a deal.
I guess I'll just
Like there wasn't like again this
Say the same
these
thing.
episodes, and like for me it's gonna be equally hard to find a best part because it's like I mean outside of the fight with Tao, like that's a good part of the episode, or the assassin thing. I'd probably say the assassin thing's probably the best part just because the aura farming.
Yeah.
But again, there's not very many parts that stick out as like the best. You know.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I you know what? I'll just say for me, there wasn't enough of a low light in my brain as a first time viewer.
Yeah.
To say that anything deserves the worst part.
Yeah.
I think it's all good enough to not be a worst.
Yeah, but like
For me personally.
if
Now
you
you have
had-
watched this a couple of times,
Yeah.
and that's why I kind of give you that one.
Yeah, and
because it hurt you more than it hurt me.
Yeah, and even it didn't hurt; it was just noticeable,
Yeah.
and therefore, like in like when it comes to like these episodes where it didn't get too high or too low, the fact that there was a part of the episode that was just kind of like this is sticking out. It's like that automatically makes bad compared to the other stuff. You know?
Yeah, I got you.
And so that's why I'm not saying this is like on par with anything that I've said worst part for before. This is probably the best worst part that I've had so far, but it is the worst part of these two episodes.
for you.
Yeah. And so yeah, for the best part for me is probably the assassin Tao attack.
If you're taking the assassin attack, I was like, whatever you don't take out of the fight and the assassin
Yeah.
attack, I'm taking the other one.
Yeah.
Though I personally think this is perfect because I probably like the fight more than you like the fight. As a first, again, as a first time viewer.
I enjoyed the fight,
But I know you enjoyed the assassin.
That assassin part
you
was
enjoyed it a
cool.
little bit more than me.
that assassin part was cool.
Not saying I didn't like it. I hated it. I enjoyed it a lot, but I know you enjoyed it more than I did. So I think this is a good split of
Yeah.
I get the fight because I probably enjoyed it slightly more than you.
Yeah.
And you enjoyed the assassin slightly more than me.
Yeah, and and
Both great.
So far, Tao is like the perfect aura farmer in this show. You can't find anybody who has more aura than Tao at the moment.
So far.
So far, we might be finding a new one soon. Who knows? There might be some spoilers that I could say here that I won't.
Spoiler.
But so far, Tao is the ultimate aura farmer. But with that, before we get into those next two episodes, I would like to bring up a little bit of news that I told Jesse. I teased him about some news, which for you guys is like 3 weeks old now, because by the time you're listening to this. But they had like some sort of Dragon Ball festival or anime fest or something where Dragon Ball released a lot of news. They're remaking I think it's either one of the movies or like they're remaking like an arc from the show from Super. It's coming out this year. They're starting the new saga or a new season of Dragon Ball Super coming out later this year. There's a new video game coming out with like a like the last, I think from what I understand, it was the last like created character by Toriyama is going to be coming out with is going to be on like the main character of one of the games that's coming out, or in the game that's coming out. It's like the last like created character Toriyama made for the universe. So there's a lot of cool Dragon Ball news is what I was trying to get to. And from what I understand because I don't read the manga, but from what I understand, the character that's getting like the big bad of the next season of Super that's coming out is one everyone is like super hyped for. So not to be punny, but like everybody's ecstatic to see how this turns out in animation, because I guess he's like a cool, like one of the most unique bad guys on the Dragon Ball show, and like the way they have to beat him is like is different than just punch in the face, shoot beam, So
You have to get a little more inventive.
yeah, and that's as much as I can give without spoiling anything about them. But like that's the gist of what's going on with them.
And don't worry, if you keep listening to the podcast and watching as we go, you too can watch that in probably 6 years.
Well, it might not. We're like we talked about. We're gonna be
We're
done with
getting
OG Dragon Ball pretty quick, and like
we got a
year.
lot to watch.
And then we got like 300 episodes of Z, and then GT, along with the movies that are intermittently through there before we get to Super. So I mean, yeah, it's probably gonna be a few years. I don't know about 6, maybe like 4.
I'm not getting your hopes up.
Yeah.
I'm trying to exaggerate a little bit
No, you're good.
to keep the tides.
But yeah, so I mean that's the news for you guys. If you're not in the know with Dragon Ball stuff, that was just stuff that came across
I feel
my
like I'd
timeline.
seen some stuff about that, but I didn't give it much mind.
Yeah,
at the
because
time.
that you're like, okay, there's more Dragon Ball that's going to be showing up later, like way
It's
down
more
the
just
line.
me. I was like kind of scrolling. It came across real quick. I was like, whatever.
Yeah. The game is stuff that I've heard a lot of people are excited because I think it's supposed to be like a story-based game, which is not common for Dragon Ball, where Dragon Ball is almost completely put in like fighter-based games. This one's supposed to be like almost like a story mode where you get to play as like the new character that Toriyama created for like the last character, which I think is a cool idea for a game. Get to be like a Saiyan in the Dragon Ball universe is different than like playing as Goku fighting Vegeta for the millionth time, or Frieza for the millionth time, or other characters you don't know the names of probably for the millionth time, you know. But yeah, that's the news. So if you were coming to the end of our episode for some news, there you go. But if that's not what you want, well, guess what? We're going to have a new episode next week. But if you can't wait that long, you can reach out to us at becomingsaiyans@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, and on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube at Becoming Saiyans Pod. And with that, I guess, you know, I've been Truman.
And I've been Jesse.
And the journey continues.
Bye.